Viktoria Plzeň 1, Manchester United 2. A bizarre performance from Man United there. I'm joined by Stephen Howson. Steve, talk me through the first 47 and a half minutes of that game.
Do I have to? Do you know what? I've just finished my own review, and one of the things I was picking up on in that is, was it a case of... I thought Amad was our best player, by the way. I'll just get that out of the way before I carry on.
Okay.
Was it a case of moving Amad from that right wing back spot where he was like an auxiliary attacker, like an extra pair of hands in attack, and having essentially 5 defenders occupy those 5 spots? Moving Amad forward, he just played his usual game. He was creative, he was effective, he was dangerous. But was it a consequence of moving him higher and more narrow meant that we didn't have quite the attacking number of players on the pitch? Because I can't think of any other reason of why. I mean, when you look at the metrics of the game afterwards, we created loads of chances, we had loads of shots, but that first half we didn't. No. I don't know the reasons necessarily for it. It's going to be teething problems every single week, probably for about 4 or 5 months, isn't it? Let's be real. As we sort of get used to what we're doing with the system, making it automatic, making it instinctive for the lads. But yeah, it was just a little bit boring, if anything, wasn't it, the first half? They didn't really threaten either, but it was just like... And do you know what was the madness? Like, more so in the second half than the first half, where it's like, we've got all the possession and can't find a pass. How's that work?
Yeah. It was weird. I said that in the review. I said we couldn't keep the ball, but yet we had 73% possession. It was a bizarre thing of like, we kept giving it away, but they didn't have it either. And like you said, neither team in that first half really did anything, which was shocking. Do you think there was almost us giving the goal away was a little bit of a catalyst for United to sort of start playing like we saw so many times under Solskjaer? Or do you think it was the substitutions? What turned it around, do you think?
I can't tell you, because I'm not sure the substitutions did. I know Mount came on and had a little bit of movement ahead of the ball, and he managed to get on the end of a couple of things. Probably should have finished at least the first one, the first chance that he got. But I just thought there was a bit of a collective delay, slowness. Just there wasn't enough speed and emphasis in the entire squad, really. It was like we were making nice shapes, but when we were breaking, when we were transitioning, it was like we wanted an extra second, an extra touch, an extra pass, rather than being ruthless and getting the ball forward and putting it into areas where we could actually do some damage from. It was very almost pre-season tempo, if you know what I mean. Like, and it was just lacking that sort of incisiveness that would have made it work for us, and maybe quality that came along with that as well. It was just off, wasn't it? It was just off. Like, listening to the commentary, I know you guys wouldn't have had it on in the studio, but the commentary, it was mad, because as soon as the second one went in, they started talking about how dominant United have been, and you're like, 35 seconds ago, you were talking about how shit we are. Like, you can't just change your tune on the basis of that. Like, I'm delighted we got the result, and I'm fuming with the performance, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, just concentrating on that sort of final 35-ish minutes where we made the subs, maybe like you said, we had, I think Diallo came off at one point, and I know Anthony wasn't amazing, but he was an attacking force rather than a purely defensive force that sort of the wing-backs had been up until that point. It did become a different game, and like you said, you ended the game with almost 3 XG and loads of shots on target. We probably should have got 3 or 4 goals in the end. But Hojlund, I think, was a big thing in that, and just his position and the way he controlled his centre-back and the goals that he scored. Are you seeing him as that kind of number 9 that should be starting week in, week out now? Do you put him above Xerxes and Rashford in that position after tonight?
I think he always was, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Did you like him today?
Yeah, I think maybe Xerxes is a little bit symptomatic of where we are as a football club at the moment, because he's getting involved in link play. Nice. Cool. All right, apart from that run, first 10 minutes or whatever it was, he's getting involved in a link play, and he's an extra man in there, and he looks good holding it up and laying it off and this, that, and the other, but like, he's doing it around the halfway line. I don't need you to do it around the halfway line. I need you to do it around the D. I need you to do it where that final ball comes off you into some of the other players. Now, I don't think Amad and Rashford were making the right runs all the time for him, but like, I want to see him conducting stuff 25 yards further up the pitch than he was. I want to see him when he's laying it off, putting it through. It's a through ball that leads to a shot rather than just United keeping possession. Go away. I don't need you here. This is what Casemiro's here for. This is what Bruno is here for. You're doing somebody else's job and not doing your own at the other end of the pitch. That's where I need you. In terms of Hojlund, Amad's been fantastic for that goal. Wonderful bit of skill. He is the player that you'd pay to watch in this team at the moment. He gets his shot off. Hojlund knows nothing about it, and I mean nothing about it. He puts it away, but to your point, you got to make the run to be in the right position to be lucky enough to see it like ricochet off you and go in the back of the net. So he gets a little bit of credit for that. His second one I thought was very skillful. On the from the first watch, it's a great pass from Bruno. On the replay, it's an awful pass from Bruno. It bobbles all over the show, and Hojlund has to get it under control. Manages to do that in one touch, turns around and smacks it, and puts it away. I thought that was the higher quality bit of skill, and it almost goes back to the point we was making about being incisive, putting something through with a bit of pace. All right, it was a little bit bobbly, but he's turned and he's hit it. He hasn't turned, put his foot on the ball and tried to rock it back for somebody else. And almost immediately as he comes on the pitch, I think Bruno flashed one across the box that he was very close to getting on the end of. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I thought he had a good performance. And he's put the ball in the back of the net twice. Listen, I actually couldn't care if he was shit all season, but puts the ball in the back of the net twice every single week. I'm here for it.
Mm. Yeah, I think we need someone to do that regardless of the rest of their performance. And I think that pass into him, Martinez tried it twice. Once he delayed it a little bit and Hojlund stopped his run and it didn't quite get him behind. He tried it another time as well where he started to roll his man. He's got that's maybe becoming a little bit of a thing that he can do that I don't feel like Xerxes has the explosiveness to turn his man and get that shot away the way that Hojlund did.
They did play that ball into Xerxes in the first half.
Yeah.
Martinez.
Yeah. Did it work?
I think he ended up laying it back for someone.
Yeah, and that's the difference, isn't it? I think you need to decide, what we want. And like you said, Amad playing up there with him, that connection is the only one I look at and think consistently Amad to striker can get us goals this season. Does that worry you when you see Rashford in there looking a little bit lost? You see Garnacho come in. I think he came in at wing back and didn't really do a lot in there. Mason Mount came in. I thought the energy was good and he helped pick the team up, but it wasn't quite leading to things. Do you worry that we've only really got Amad as the creator kind of in that final third at the minute?
Would you like me to go and pick any one of the 13 videos we've done talking about this on that exact topic?
Well, I'm talking about the creator now rather than the goal scorer, if there's a difference there. It's all linked. It's all linked. I mean, you're still getting chance creation. I don't know. I've not looked at the stats yet, but I know you're still getting a little bit of chance creation from Bruno. Yeah, he had a decent numbers today.
It has to be more from everybody. Like, it is a collective thing. Defending's a team sport. Fucking scoring goals is a team sport as well. And yes, I think the forwards are mid-table level. Amad aside, and even he's in his rookie fucking season at the end of the day. He's not exactly got a wealth of catalogue behind him where we go, yeah, this is a guy that's the face of the club or whatever. He's a rookie. How many games he played? 20?
Yeah, something like
that, if that. He ain't that guy yet. So I still think these forwards require an upgrade, but the chance creation could be chipped in. Casemiro could help chip in. Someone needs to take Diallo out, have him look at a fucking lake and give him a cuddle or something, because Jesus, he is not having a good time of it of late, is he? No. I was watching early in the game, just thinking, what's happened here? Why are you not passing it to anyone on our team? He was struggling.
Yeah. He seems like he's, like you said, like he's going through it at the minute, doesn't he? Whatever he does doesn't work, and he's just struggling to make a 5-yard pass. And I think that put us under pressure a couple of times in the first half. Just looking forward, then the game on Sunday against City, obviously. What do you think Amorim has learned about who he can maybe trust for that game, ways to set up in that game? Do you see Garnacho playing a wing back? Do you see Rashford in the 10? Do you see Bruno in the 8? What do you think we learned from tonight, or learned so far, that's going to set us up for that big first real test under Ruben Amorim.
I think if he can, you might see the left back spot's the one in it. I haven't got a fucking clue, to be honest with you.
No.
He might go Luke Shaw left wing back. No, he won't, because he's broken again, isn't he?
Yep.
I don't fucking know.
Left wing back's a bit of a nightmare, isn't it?
That's the one spot in the team at the moment where I go, you realistically, you shouldn't be picking Diallo, right?
No.
And he ain't the only one that ain't getting picked. But he'll get picked because there is literally nobody to take that spot. You can go, do you know what? Nah, fuck it. Mazraoui left wing back, sound. Like, what I'm thinking, or what I'm sort of circling around is a 5 at the back. So some sort of 5 at the back, or our wing backs are defenders rather than Amad Garnacho. And then you play Amad and possibly Mount off Hojlund, or Amad and Xerxes off Hojlund. Some in that sort of sense. Or Bruno and Amad off Hojlund. I think Ugarte is the most certain player to play in the history of certain players to play.
Yeah.
And then it's who you put in alongside him. Possibly Mainu, possibly Casemiro, I'm not sure. But you line up like that with probably 5 to try and contain City. Because look, as hilarious as this run is that they're on, they could put 4 or 5 past us the way I've seen us defend recently. So I am not taking this run for granted in the slightest. Now, I'm probably going to predict that we win because of my bell end. But being real, I really think that this game it is literally the toss of a coin. Yeah. I have no idea how this game is going to... I can't fathom how they're so bad. Why are they so bad?
I don't know. The worse in terms of a single 10 games than we've been in 100,
ever.
Like 70
Possibly
years
ever.
or something. Yeah. And they're the best, one of the best teams that's ever existed.
Supposedly the best manager that's ever existed.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely, right?
How
it's
is
not
that
me
happening?
casting aspersions on them, because I'd never do that. I think there's been a witch hunt against them.
Yeah.
And I absolutely don't support it. It genuinely looks like people that are coming off PEDs. That's what it genuinely looks like. And the only 2 things that I think could make sense, because I'm not buying the fact that you take Rodri out of this team and now they can't win a fucking game. I'm not having that. I am pure and simply not accepting that as a reality. The only other thing that could make sense is that they've been briefed up. You fuckers are getting relegated once all these charges hit. Nothing else would make sense in terms of the level of drop-off of performance, right? Now, there might be another reason, but nothing else makes sense in terms of the drop-off of level of performance. So let me know in the comments, is it PEDs or is it the charges? Which one do you think it is?
I think that's a good place
Playing
to end
devil's
it.
advocate. I'm only asking a question.
You've
Joe.
got options. You've given people options. They can choose for themselves either one of those 2 options.
It could
and
just
that's fair.
it could be option D. Rodri's that good.
Yeah.
But they fucking isn't, is it? Let's be honest. Not that good. I think he's very, 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 very good. But I don't think he's good enough to see them just win 1 in fucking 10.
Yeah. That's
In the hilarious fashion that they're running. Like, how was... Right, you take a defensive midfielder out of a team and Erling Haaland stopped scoring. No.
Yeah.
No. Kyle Walker's just forgot how to defend. Like, what is going on? No, like, literally watching it don't make any... Guardiola was a £100 million backup fucking centre-half and everyone went, sound, yeah, mint. And I'm watching him making, like, Cheshire League errors. I can't roll my head around it at all. So is it the PEDs or is it the charges? What is it? What is it?
It's one of those 2. We'll in the comments, the top comment, you can decide, is it the PEDs or is it the charges? Go down and vote below now. Thank you, Steve. And thank you to everyone for watching at home as well. Viktoria Plzeň 2, Viktoria Plzeň 1, Manchester City 2, Man City 130.
We'll get there in the end.
Viktoria Plzeň 1, Manchester United 2, Manchester City 130 charges, as I found out it is this week. See you in a bit.